Hello, everyone. How's it going? I am Jeff, and this is going to be another try on an old video I did months ago, which turned out completely bad. And this is called Why I Love Ranma One Half Redub or Refrain or something. I don't know how to say it. So, this is another try I'm doing with better volume. And today I have a special guest with me, my friend Ben.
Hi.
And if you remember him, which I'm not sure, we did a continuum script, and I guess you can call this a kind of echo of that if Ben's ever on here, I guess.
Yo.
Mm. And today, again, as I said, this is going to be Ranma One Half Refrain with better volume, with better audio this time that you can hear me, and I will double check everything before posting. So we'll see how this one goes. So, Ben, my one question for you: have you heard of Ranma One Half?
Yes. I've heard of it.
I know you've heard of it, but this is for to explain to anyone who's randomly listening to us.
Yes, I have.
What did you take? What is your take on Ranma One Half?
So, yeah, it's great. I love it.
Nice. This series was made and created by Momoko Takahashi, same person who created the famous Inuyasha and now Yashahime, which is a different issue altogether, sadly. Um, she also is the creator of that Urusei alien Lum person, I believe. The alien Lum. And Mazen Ikoku, also the not forgotten by me Mermaids Saga. Mermaid's Forest, Mermaid Scar. That's a good flipping series or OVA to watch if you can find it. Sadly, it is out of print, so it only exists somewhere on the internet. So I do suggest you check it out. Mermaid Scar is personally one of my favorite from Momoko Takahashi because it's very, very dark and and it has a thriller-esque feel to it. Ben, have you heard of Mermaid Scar?
No,
It's
it's a
fucking
mermaid thing with dark thriller aspects, but it's the
yes.
Inuyasha lady.
Yes, she actually did this, and I watched this when I was like 14 or 15 years old. It was chilled me to the bone, but I still enjoyed it.
That sounds like a fever dream.
One would think because there is no face faults, there is no funny aspects, that it is strictly serious.
And about mermaids.
Yes, it's. I'll tell you about it later, but I'll say this: the ending theme for Mermaid Scar is so good, and I still remember it. It's called Beads of Tears. So again, what I'm getting at: don't sleep on any kind of mermaid saga from Momoko Takahashi. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't just do the frantic, romantic, comedic love thing. She can be serious, and when she gets serious and dark, it's really makes you really. It will stay with you for the rest of your life.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way, because it shows that she's not just one note. That she can kind of do different genres if she wanted. But it's not as popular as her most famous ones like Ranma, Inuyasha, etc., etc. You can't see the picture, but I have an image of Ranma and Akane.
Yes.
It's very nice. And
The title characters.
the title of characters, because in the beginning, how Ranma One Half begins, Ranma was training at Jisenkyo Springs. He falls into Spring of Drowned Girl, where his dad falls into String of Drowned Panda. Funny interaction how that happened, because a 16-year-old is training with his father, who's a deadbeat, and he knows all sorts of martial arts skills and whatever. But Ranma has no social skills at it because he's been on the road since he was a kid. So he has poor social skills, more or less. And then you got Akane, who is this pretty tom girl, long hair, and and she's got like the ribbon in her hair at the bottom. She wants to be a girly girl, but sadly she's not because she is the youngest out of three sisters, and she has the least amount of more feminine attributes one would expect.
Patience or bullshit.
Exactly, exactly. She's 16. Nobiki, the middle sister, the cold-hearted one, who I love. She's like I can say now with all honesty, Nobiki is my fucking favorite character in Ranma One Half, and she is my waifu in that series, and I love her for it. She is the fucking material girl, and I love her voice actress that does her. It's so 90s. Um, she's the practical sister who is very sarcastic, and then there's Kasumi, the more mother hen. She's 19 and just looks after the house and maybe her father and Mr. Genma Satome when he comes around or whatever. And it's decided by Son that his good friend Genma and Mom are going to come live with them and try to pass on the school of anything goes martial arts, because apparently it's a foundation of where it's a martial arts school where you can study any martial arts and I guess incorporate it into the Tendo Dojo.
Is that why it's called that?
Why it's called what?
Anything goes?
That's what I'm thinking how it is, I think.
I thought it was anything goes because it was super dirty tricks.
No, I mean, wow, that's a cynical way of thinking about it, Ben, but okay.
I thought it was built upon nut shots and grabbing people's nipples.
No, it's actual martial arts that you can study any martial art that you incorporate it into the Anything Goes school, because anything goes.
Okay.
Martial arts.
I vaguely remember that they had an attack that was specifically about groping someone's boobs, and
that might have been like a hanky joke, I think.
Okay, I thought that's why it was called Anything Goes.
I mean, I guess one would say that if they didn't have any other context, or if it was just one episode, they just randomly did it. And I'm thinking it's either Ranma who did it, or Genma.
Alright.
But then again, I don't think Akane would do that shit. She wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's decided that one of the girls will marry Genma Satome's son, because they were traveling companions as students trained by a fucking lech, a small, very evil, quote unquote, small guy who likes panties named Toposai. Who apparently is
I don't like him.
I don't like him either. But he is always around randomly and causes all sorts of mischief, sadly. So it's decided that Ranma's going to marry one of the girls, and of course Kasumi and Nobiki say, well, he can go to Akane. Why me? You hate boys, right? And he's far too young for me. That's Kasumi and Nobiki's sly way of saying, oh, we don't do this. This is for you, Akane. You have the most baggage out of all of us. You just like boys for some odd reason. We need to try to fix you. That's my interpretation of the conversation in the year 2021 from a 30-year-old anime, as I see it. And then you see randomly this random panda come in with Ranma, who is a girl in this time because it rained and shenanigans happen. And then it's like, oh, I thought. And then Nobiki just somehow just says, Ranma's not a boy. She's a girl, because she pokes the boobs, and apparently Ranma's very well endowed in his girl form, which is apparent because that's a running gag that his boobs as a girl is bigger than Akane's, which is true if you go by certain pictures and images and watch the anime itself. Anything before I go on?
Nah.
I'm kind of relying on you to put the random jokes, dude. Don't fail me. Seriously.
The only thing I thought of there was wondering if the endowment comes from Ranma's own physicality, I guess, or from the person who drowned.
I think it's more for his side than the actual one who drowned. Because I'm
Alright.
guessing if he was a girl, because when he's a girl, he's a little bit more shorter and well endowed, but more nimble compared to boy. Because girls' bodies are much more nimbler than guys and faster. Well, I'm going by their logic, actually, but that's beside the point.
Alright.
But then again, when you add certain factors that men are stronger than women physically, which is sadly true, but women are much more faster, I guess, and being more intuitive with certain things, and can kick you in the crotch and everything. So they are faster per se, depending. But whatever. So anyway, shenanigans happen. Ranma and Akane get to know each other by having a practice round at the dojo, and Akane's throwing punches and wondering why Ranma's not like punching back. And Ranma just dodges and just pokes her on the forehead, and then oh god, this is going to be a quote that will last a lifetime. I'm just so happy that you're a girl. What? What do you mean? Well, I don't like boys, and that causes like a conundrum with Ranma. And then when she goes to take a bath, she is really a he, and he's wondering what to do. Well, they're going to figure it out anyway. And then Akane randomly comes in just to say, oh, I guess we could both take our baths. She takes off her clothes, and then as Ranma gets up from the water, she opens the door, and then it's a moment that they look at each other, and they're both buck naked. And this is one of the only times you see Akane's breast. And Ranma, who is, miraculously hiding his junk from the camera, just stares at her.
Well-placed fern plant.
Exactly, thank you. And then she closes the door, and he looks down to say, what, is it my dick or whatever? Because he would think that because Mama has no filter, it seems. And then she screams bloody murder, and then she runs out with her robe or something on, and she grabs a fucking table and just says, I'll drown him in the bathroom. I'll drown him in the bathtub. Akane, what is it? Yeah, what's going on, sis? There's a pervert in the bathroom. What? Then what? Well, geez, Akane, why didn't you club him? I don't know. I got scared. Or whatever. And then Ranma comes in and introduces himself, and they tell him the whole story. Hot water reverses the transformation, but cold water is a weakness that turns into the cursed forms. And unfortunately, the Senkyo Springs are cursed for a reason. No one's really supposed to know about it or go there, but there are people in this show that will randomly go there for reasons and will be transformed.
No one's supposed to go there. Everybody fucking goes there.
That's a running gag, because one will get turned into a pig, Ryoga, who will be named Pichan. Another gets turned into a cat, that's Shampoo, but that's not until the second season. And then someone will somehow get a dose of the spring of drowned duck, which is going to go to Moose.
There's a guy who fell into that one spring where like 15 animals drowned, and he becomes some sort of weird tentacle monster.
That is Pantyhose, I believe his name is.
Yeah, I think Pantyhose Taro or something.
Yeah.
He's the most memorable for some reason.
Yeah, he's a stronger combatant than all the other characters that Ranma can defeat, depending on the episode structure.
Mostly because he's like a gorilla octopus thing.
Yeah, and he gets screwed over, but I don't know much about him though, sadly. I think I watched the episode once, but I didn't really pay much attention. But pretty much.
I don't remember his character being that interesting, but his transformation was.
Yeah.
Just the idea that you can mix and match springs, and I'm like, why has no one thought of this before?
That is a horror story though.
Yeah, unless you get used to it. It's a horror story, unless you're into Animorphs, then you want to find these springs.
I'm surprised you know about Animorphs.
It's a thing right now.
The actual book series.
Yeah.
Is it making a comeback somehow that I'm unaware of?
Maybe. I've seen it on Tumblr a few times.
Oh god, you're still on Tumblr? Jesus Christ.
It like pops up on my phone sometimes. I'm mostly there for
the dank memes.
keeping in touch with people I've met at conventions.
Oh, of course. Right.
But yeah, it's actually this really freaking long speech written by the author about people who didn't like the ending. And I'm like, fair, but you seem kind of angry. Which, of course, I would, because I don't like it when people fight.
Well, I remember that ending to Animorphs. Side note, I'm just going to go on a rant about this now. I remember Animorphs, and I love that series. That was my book that got me into reading as a kid. And
You might want to check Tumblr then. It is making a small comeback for the moment.
Roger, I'll try to keep that in mind.
Although I fear that I've taken us way off the rails.
No, it's fine. I love Animorphs though, but I'll probably talk about it with you about it later. But back to Ranma one half. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of shenanigans will happen. They'll be going up against Kuno. Then Ryoga, Shampoo, Kadachi, a lot of other characters who are okay. Ranma one half might seem serious, but it's kind of like a romantic action drama, kind of.
Karate movie comedy.
Thank you. Yes. There is martial arts in it. There is fighting scenes, depending if it's like a joke or not. Depending, it's like kind of yuck, 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 yuck. I'm gonna beat you up or whatever, depending. But it's like it has a lot of stuff in it that make this a unique anime experience.
Yeah.
There are serious moments, there are serious episodes sometimes, but it's mostly like brand comedy, more or less. But it has its tender moments too that is just mixed up in there depending on what the episodes are, particularly in the OVA series, which I think is a little bit more serious.
It's also eventually key blasts, but they're kind of lame unless the plot demands they not be.
True. Didn't you say Ryoga destroyed the city and it was like, oh, it didn't happen. It happened, but we
That one wasn't actually because of the plot. That one was for a joke, and the joke was hilarious.
in the manga or something, right?
Yeah. Basically, he learned how to use Key Blast, but in this Key Blast are fueled by emotions.
Shishi
And,
Hokudan.
what?
The Shishi Hokudan.
Oh, crap.
You okay?
Yeah. There was a minor interruption. But anyhow,
Oh.
so Ryoga learns a Key Blast that is based on depression.
Yeah.
So he just kind of keeps making himself more and more upset.
Yeah, his sadness, lonesome atmosphere. Yeah.
So basically, he just eventually has the idea of having Akane tell him, because he has a crush on her, that she'll never like him. And that throws him into a depression. And he's basically, at that point, summoning giant lasers from the sky that leave, like, 20-foot craters in the ground.
I can see
and
that.
About to like straight up murder Ranma with them. And Ranma's like, and Akane's like, and for some reason it seems like Akane doesn't exactly get Ryoga's antagonistic nature sometimes.
She doesn't.
She thinks he's cool. Because he is. But he hates
sees him as a
Ranma
little
for
brother.
really random reasons. I think he keeps accidentally stealing his lunch at school, and Ranma doesn't remember, which is weird because it's weird that Ranma was ever in school at all.
Yeah, they might add a little bit more elements to it.
But anyhow, so she's like, oh man, I didn't mean to make him that upset. I'll fix this. And so it's at this point that Ryoga's thrown out like 10 or so key blasts and has created like a, I don't know, 15-foot deep crater that him and Ranma are fighting in. Mm-hmm. And it kind of pokes her head over the side of it and is like, Ryoga! It's like, huh? Oh, I didn't mean any of that stuff that I said to you earlier. It's like, he's like, oh, I feel better now. And it's like, we'll always be friends, and he has a crush on her, so he's like, that is the worst thing you could have said to me.
Hard.
And then he, like, calls down, like, a 50-foot radius laser from the sky. And, like, tases everyone in the area. But also himself, so that kind of ends the arc.
Fun fact: the only time I've ever seen Ryoga use the Shishi Hokudan was in the second movie of Ranma One Half, Ni Hao My Concubine. And actually, Ranma uses the Raging Lion Blast, or whatever that damn thing's called. It is not named in the anime. He just had a confidence Kamehameha like blast or whatever.
Yeah, he in the same chapter that Ryoga figures out Key Blast, Ranma tries to do it, and they're kind of lame in comparison. It's basically like throwing little balls of fire, and the balls of fire hit with roughly the same or less force than a punch, so it would have just been easier to punch them.
Mm. But
I
it's
guess it
cool.
gets better over time.
Yeah, but I guess they have to refine the technique, and it's better in the anime from what I saw. Well, OVA
Right.
movie I saw. But anyway, there's like a lot of romantic elements with a lot of rivals trying to pine for Ranma's affection, but also try to get rid of Akane in a weird way because she's like the main fiance, and a lot
Or
of
vice versa.
yeah, vice versa. Everyone wants someone in the show, and it's like, but you have the perfect couple right here. Ryoga, you can be with Ukyo. Ukyo, you can kind of maybe be with Ryoga if you wanted to.
You can do better.
Yeah, Shampoo, I guess I'm sorry, girls. Moose belongs with you because no one wants Moose. No one
He
wants
looks better
Moose.
with his glasses off.
He does, and he has a cool moment in Nihama Concubine as well. Kuno and Nabiki, they have this nice dynamic, even though he's an idiot, sadly. Well, not anymore. He's a himbo.
Oh yeah.
He's a fucking himbo.
Yeah.
So,
He's also loaded.
very rich. Nabiki likes money. She can most likely she can marry into the Kuno family, not take their last name, and say, "I got this, Kuno baby. You sit your ass down, okay?"
Probably.
And then she just runs that fucking empire like, "Oh, I got this."
Sounds like her.
Yes, right. She's a fucking miser. I love her. And when I mean love, I mean I would actually pretty much would say again, I would most likely date Nabiki and marry her. And even if she doesn't want me, I'll just say, look, I'm for you. I don't mind any of your thing. You can take control of all the money and you can make us rich, all right?
Please control my life, sugar mommy.
Just control my life. That's fine, Nabiki. We can have one or two kids and it'll be fine. Okay. She's not that heartless. She does have heart. She loves her sisters at the end. It's just unfucking cross her. That's all I'm gonna say because she has been known to be very miserly with certain things, especially with Ranma, because he's naive. Yeah.
I can trick him. Oh no, he tricked me. He can't do that. He's too stupid. I must destroy him.
She wouldn't destroy him per se, quote unquote. She would probably pay someone to get rid of him, most likely. But and there's also the Akane factor that she is actually Ranma calls Akane like a fucking tomboy or whatever, and uncute and thick thighs and shit. But the thing is, they
A
worked.
bunch of things that are really in right now.
Mm. The thing is, yes, sadly, yes, all that stuff is actually in compared to when this anime was released in the in the mid to late '90s and everything, when it was getting some kind of popularity. And actually, fun fact, Ranma's voice actor changed to Ian Richard, who voices Inuyasha in like season 4.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I think the first Ranma's voice in male form was a woman who sounded like a guy.
Alright.
And then the one that voices female Ranma, well, more later, after the first 2 episodes, I think, or third or fourth episode, was someone named Venus Tenzo. Yeah, she's Canadian, so.
Hmm.
She voices female Ranma, and that's what I know her for, and I'll always recognize Venus Tenzo's voice. She was actually also in, I believe, the 8th Jason film, I believe.
Huh.
Yeah. She has some acting chops. That's good.
Hmm.
But okay, I guess I should go into why I love this series. Because it was one of my first animes that got me into the foundation of anime in the 90s.
Same.
I rented it randomly once after renting Tenchi Muyo in Love, the movie, and I saw the episode, and I didn't know it had a second episode. I thought it was one episode. It was called Akane's Cookies, I think. I think that's what it was called, the episode I got. I think. It just dealt with Akane trying to bake cookies and Ranma not wanting to eat them because, unfortunately, Akane is a horrible cook. She has no patience.
Yeah.
She has no fucking patience, and that's what ruins her cooking. If she had patience, she would actually be kind of a decent cook at best. Not to Kasumi's level or Shampoo's or Ukyo's, but decent. She could probably make you a bowl of ice. Um, and I was watching the episode and I liked it, and then I didn't know there was a second episode until I fast forwarded after listening to the songs. And oh, there's a second episode, cool. So I learned that these shows have 2 episodes per tape, not 3, depending. That was a treat. If you get a second or third, if you get a third episode, that was more of a treat on a VHS. But that wasn't until much later, or at least until like one of the films or something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Akane, bad cook. But there are moments between Ranma and Akane that I do like, especially when it comes to them like detailing their feelings. And I'm thinking, why not just admit your feelings? Well, one, they are 16, they're both stubborn. They have various circumstances of why they don't want to admit to such things, but at the core, it's always either Akane running to Ranma to make sure he's okay, even though he doesn't want it, or Ranma being very concerned over Akane, about to fall for like maybe Ryoga or someone else, and he just says, "Are you sure you want to do this, Akane?" "Oh, Ranma, butt out." "Look, I'm just trying to look out for you." "I don't need your help, Ranma." Or whatever. And I guess there was this one episode in season 2 in the series of Anything Goes Martial Arts. I think that's what that season is called. They had to join forces to stop a dojo destroyer. It wasn't the most best episode because Akane was very, very volatile in this episode. She didn't want Ranma's help because he was going to go out on a date with Shampoo so he could get like the antidote to a spring drowned for his string of the curse or whatever. But he eventually relents and Shampoo lets him go so he can help out Akane. And Akane's about to get destroyed or beaten, or however this is going to go, and then Ranma fights, and someone mentions about using this technique that was passed down to the Anything Goes school that they only used once. It's stupid, but it gets the job done. But okay, I guess I should have done a better episode. There was another episode that details like a skating competition, like a skating martial arts tournament or whatever. And Ranma pretty much declared his true feelings for Akane at the ring, saying, "Akane is my fiance. You hear? You touch her, and I'll kill you." And I was actually pretty drawn to that moment that Ranma really does, or deeply cares more about Akane than they both realize. And it made me see that Ranma really does love Akane, and Akane does love Ranma because the way she was looking at him. I mean, it's these small moments between the two that I really like seeing. And I really love especially seeing it in the OVA series because better animation and you get to see it more thoroughly. That it's explored more. It's more explored in the OVAs I see. Especially in the episode An Akane to Remember. That was the name of the VHS tape. And the episode was called Reawakening Memories Part 1 and Part 2. And it details an extraordinary tale of Akane trying to save this guy's life who he saved her life by saving her from a gigantic platypus. I kid you not. It was straight up fruit of the gods up in that shit. Yes. Yes. Straight up that shit. And these giant woodland animals who could kill you. And there's this guy named Shinosuke who fights him off with a fucking mop or something. I forget. Ranma 1 uses very interesting logic when it comes to like cutlery or random tools that can be used for a fucking weapon.
I vaguely remember there was like a martial arts school based around old timey toys. And they're all like, fucking no one wants to do this martial art anymore because Pokemon exists.
Oh my god, I think I had those. I had that episode. I know what episode you're talking about.
Stupid kids and their stupid Pokemon. Who wants to play Power Cup?
This is true. Yeah, why did you guys play like Pokemon when Pokemon was in the thing at the time? Like, oh wow, it's really hitting. It's pretty much aged stuff if they said that at this point. If you watch it again.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's more like that one comic where that one kid is talking to his mom about Pokemon. And she's like, "Oh, I play Pokemon," and she's like, "Oh, let's battle." And she just kind of looks at him and is like, "I'm gonna fucking destroy you, kid."
yes, I love it. I love it.
Because the parents played Pokemon and so did the kids. That was the thing they share.
Yes, and the mom would probably destroy her own kid just because you can't beat me, you fucking weeb. Shut the fuck up.
I know about fucking TMs and no, not TMs. What is it? EVs and shit. I'm that into Pokemon. It's like, what even is that? It's like it's how older people ruin the game for younger people. Mom, why are you like this? Get good.
Get good, kid. Oh, I'm gonna crush you. Something. Oh fuck.
Oh, poor people who just want to play the game casually like me.
And then yet you get whooped into this hardcore person who's like, if you don't go big, go home, dude.
Yeah. No worries.
Get out of my sight, you disgrace. They flip you they flip their hair and just walk off into the sunset. As you lay there with her feet like, I just wanted to play for fun. Ah.
If you're wondering, it is exactly like Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh shit.
I have thoroughly beat you on a child's card game to the point where I was willing to let myself die to win. It's like, dude, it's just a card game.
This is true. Oh, the abridged version. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit! Like, I'm gonna defeat you. I'll defeat you in a children's card game. Oh fuck me! Like really? The fate of the world's in the sake of a card game. What the fuck am I? What the fuck show am I in? What? Really?
Either loosen your moral code or stop pitting the fate of the world on death matches.
Oh god.
I just keep thinking of Dragon Ball now.
It's the fucking Dragon Ball abridged. That's awesome. It still slaps abridged.
Mostly because I thought of the episode where like they were putting the touches on the final episodes, and so they had a bunch of things where a bunch of random anime characters kept walking up to Cell and challenging him to duels, and Yu-Gi-Oh happened.
I'm gonna take my teenage body and go home.
Cell just won by being a rules lawyer.
Yeah. Actually, it was that one with Sonic and Knuckles, too.
Yes. I'm occupying 3 different spaces at once with how fast I'm going.
He broke Sonic, sadly.
And Knuckles had to glide away.
I think One Punch Man didn't do anything to him because he just said, "Oh, I gotta go. There's a sale or something."
Yes.
Oh, and I think Ryu or Ken was gonna fight him, and then they got beat, sadly.
Yes.
Anyway.
K.O. What just happened?
Oh, right, because Ryu tapped into the Satsu no Hado or whatever.
Yeah, and I did the Die a Thousand Deaths fist thing or something.
Which I hated in that. Which I always hated that Okuma did.
And then the screen went black, and then Cell beat him up, and he's like, "What just happened?"
What the fuck just happened? And then what he said about the fucking was that fucking Frieza? When Mewtwo passed him by or something. Is that fucking Frieza? What?
Got a topic again.
Yes. Anyway, back to Ranma. I'm sorry for the jokey portion of the show. Anyway, it was important for Akane that she found Shinosuke because he saved her, and she kept this little whistle that he gave her to stave off the fucking giant animals. And when she realized that she had to go back to this place, and she found him again with his ailing grandfather, he had memory problems. Like, I think he had some kind of retrograde amnesia or whatever. Very short term memory, but he clearly remembers Akane later, and after some moments and everything, that she actually made food for them to show her appreciation. She used the water of life, which was keeping Shinosuke alive. That's the main plot of the story. The water of life is running low. That's keeping him alive. Due to him protecting Akane, he wound up getting hurt. It was a severe injury that Akane didn't know about until just now when he told her, or the grandfather told her. So she made food, and the water of life made her fucking atrocious food delicious. And he said, "I could eat this every day, Akane. I could see you as like my wife or whatever." And she's just all happy because you might think it's love. I think it's just more kind of guilt, but I think she generally means well. You're not supposed to think deeply these deep thoughts with a show like this because it happened in a certain period or whatever. But the thing is, Ranma, of course, goes chasing after her, and he's just like he's jelly over the fact that Shinosuke is actually showing her affection and shit, and he's like saying here, like, what about me? Ranma's pretty much a jerk, and he's a kid sometimes with his feelings. And then he confronts him, and it turns into this fight, of course, or a brief fight, or a fight that's about to happen, because he just says, "Akane, come on, let's just go home, okay?" "Ranma, I can't. I owe Shinosuke my life, and enough! Don't you see that you're making Akane hurt like this? Stay the hell out of this." "Oh yeah? Oh, what are you gonna make me do?" And then Ranma says something, but he says, "Akane is mine," and it's so dramatic that Akane just looks at them, and she's like yelling their name. Like, she's yelling Ranma's name or whatever, and she's about to pull a fucking Sakura Hana before Sakura Hana was a thing. She tries to she rushes into the middle of the fight or something, and then she just says, "Ranma, please, I owe Shinosuke my life. Please try to understand." And Ranma is just so fucking crushed by this because it's Akane, and he didn't want to. He didn't punch her. Thank God, he pulled back his punch and everything. So then I say, as Sakura Hana moment, that's what she did. But it was a little bit more. I think it was a little bit more better how this happened. He walks off in defeat, and I think Ryoga gets involved because it's Ryoga, and it's a more actiony, serious episodes and shit. And then the Yamato no Orochi awakens, and that's the only way to save Shinosuke's life because the water's dwindling down, and apparently all the guys have to dress as girls, so they have to cross-dress. And there's like this big fight battle thing with good music, and Akane's dressed as a boy because she's really a woman, and the Orochi likes women, so she's like masking her scent by wearing the guy's coat and shit. It's pretty hot, honestly, because she can pull off being a guy if she wanted, but she's fucking hot though, especially when she takes off her shirt and just reveals that she's a woman. It's so fucking like, oh yeah, she's really got big boobs. I love it. And I was like in 6th grade at the time, so this did not go over my head. What I saw, I'm like, wow, boobs, awesome. You still with me?
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
Sounds like a good episode. I don't remember it, but I didn't get that far.
Yeah, this is from the OVA series.
Original, really long.
Yeah, original video animation. That's what an OVA is.
Yeah, I think I've only really seen Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's a good one. Much more longer than Ni Hao My Concubine. But it was using the older animation of Ranma before the newer animation of like the OVAs compared to Ni Hao My Concubine.
Yeah.
Anyway, to make it just very fast forward, Akane gets somehow captured by the Orochi as it's like swimming down with her, and she's given the same thing. "Well, I owe Shinosuke my life. He saved me, Ranma. And if this is the last thing, I I didn't want it to happen like this. Wanma, it's you that I. And she briefly whispered, "I love," and I love it in dubbed because the actress who voices her really puts so much emotion to this. Wanma saves her, of course, and then something happens when the main head awakens and everything, and I think kind of gets captured again. No, that was after. But Ranma tries to go defeat it, but she gets captured, or he gets captured, and Akane just declares to everyone that let me take this, okay? She grabs the hot water because cold water, female Ranma, and she just says something like along the lines of, "I have to go to him. He's my he's my fiance," and she declares that she tastes more better than him by taking off the shirt, and she's like in this like in this wrapped up bandaged chest look or whatever with boy pants and shit.
Bancho look.
The bomb. Thank you, man. You got the bombshell. She's fucking hot. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. Sakane is hot. I like her better with short hair, and she's a pretty tomboy. Okay, she's hot.
Yes, she unbuttons her shirt, pulls out a random stalk of wheat, and puts it in her mouth. Puts a military cap on and slings a chain over her shoulder.
I mean, if she did that shit, that'd be totally
in front of her.
That'd be total badass. Kane would be total. Well, I guess she would be more of a Skaban Deca, though. She should be more of a Deca, like a teenage delinquent with a yo-yo.
Yeah. That's what Kill Kill was. Some of Kill Kill was based off of.
Yeah. Cool. So, Akane, it's a good moment between Ranma and Akane because I can't explain it because it's such a good scene. But at the end of everything, Ranma goes to reach out for Akane's hand, and then she just says, "I'm sorry I put you through so much, Ranma. Let's go home." And he's like blushing and everything, and she says, "Are you still mad at me, Ranma? Hey, are you even listening?" And it just ends, and I gotta say that's one of my favorite episodes of the OVA series of Ranma, and why Ranma and Akane pretty much cemented the entire series for me.
Yep.
Of course, we also get the later episodes of the Cursed Tunnel of Lost Love. Let My Love Be Forever. That's like one of the last. I believe that's been almost on the tail end of the OVA series, which is good. And it's like Ranma and Akane get in an argument, and Ukyo and Ryoga could potentially get together. And then there was the episode where they were trying to defeat a flipping phoenix that laid on top of Kuno's head.
That feels vaguely familiar, actually.
Yes, and Ukyo and Shampoo show up, and they look awesome. And Ukyo and Shampoo just says the most from Ice think a good line is like, "You know it, sugar. He used us like a too cheap pair of chopsticks or something." Like, god damn, like they were cross-armed and everything. I loved it. Where they team Ranma versus the legendary Phoenix or whatever. So it's a pretty good episode, I'd say. I guess should I go into more detail why I love this series so much, or no?
Sure.
I guess other than the fact that I like the animation, the characters are fun. It doesn't. I mean, sometimes I wish that the wacky elements didn't exist sometimes because it could potentially be a nice series of romance and just action. Ranma 1 is really unique among the early anime that got me into anime, and it is one of my favorite series. And I remember there were some fan fiction in the day I read about it. Mostly like Ranma Akane, Ranma hooking up a Shampoo. I don't think I read any Ukyo ones though. Maybe. I don't know. I know they exist, Ranma and Ukyo shippers, I guess. And I'm not sure if I ever read any Ryoga Akane ones either, but they exist. Or particularly, I think more exist is the Ryoga fangirls who think Ryoga is better than Ranma. There's always that fandom and that shit. Like, who's better? Who do you like more, Ranma or Ryoga? Oh, I like Ryoga. Ryoga's cute. He's better than Mom. He's sensitive. He's a sensitive soul.
I mean, he just suffers more, so you feel bad for him.
I mean, the
That doesn't
dude.
mean that he should date a Kane, but it just means that you want good things to happen to him.
Yes, this is true. This is true. And yet he turns into a pig and is deceiving her.
This is a good point.
He can never bring it to her. He can never bring up to her that she turned into a pig, her pet pig named Peachan.
This point is just embarrassing.
I mean, to be adopted by the woman you have a crush on, and yet you sleep in the same bed with her? Do you think she'd understand that? Really?
Probably not.
I don't know.
Which is probably why he never brings it up.
I mean, eventually it'll probably have to be revealed.
Look, one day Peachan walks off and never comes back. It's very sad. Ryoga spends hours looking for him. He's probably dead, and you should never think about him again.
Most likely, but Akane means well, but she's got a bad traits like Ranma. She's stubborn.
Anger.
She's stubborn and gets quick. She always blames Ranma for something if something goes wrong, and so sometimes Ranma's in the right. And God, I actually feel more for Shampoo though.
I don't remember much about her story.
She's the chick with the purple hair that turns into a cat that he hates.
Yeah,
because he has some kind of cat phobia.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Shampoo is a strong combatant. She's like the strongest female character in the show, more or less. Very beautiful. Speaks in broken English, sadly. She's got that Shinglish thing going on. And more in the English dubbed, I guess one would say. She mostly hangs out with Ukyo or something. They got a rivalry for Ranma's affections, but I think they're friends at the end of the day, somehow, some way. But I feel more for Shampoo than Ryoga, though. But then again, I think Shampoo dismisses Ryoga outright sometimes.
But why? I don't really remember her doing much other than constantly trying to trick Ranma into marrying her.
It's like one of those things, if they're like in the same scene together, she says, that stupid boy. Like, that stupid boy. I think she referred to him as stupid boy or lost boy or whatever. Oh, him. Oh, whatever.
But wait, why do you feel sorry for Shampoo?
Ow! Because I don't know. For me, I think her love for Ranma really is genuine, and it isn't just based off the fact that he beat her in battle. I think she respects Ranma's fighting skills, and probably did truly fall in love with him. A guy beat her, the strongest Amazon of her tribe. I don't think it's just devotion to her customs. I think she honestly fell in love with him.
Why does she keep trying to trick him instead of just talking to him?
Well, yeah, Ranma doesn't have the social skills to really explore his own feelings due to his own upbringing, I guess.
But does she actually ever try to talk to him?
That's the thing. She has a tendency. Her love language is gloping, and romance and physical touch. So no, not really. She just declares it outright. And apparently she doesn't mind getting buck naked in front of him at times. But she's never but none of the characters really have talked out their fucking feelings, okay? None of them talk out their feelings. It's more of a watch and see these moments, just moments that will give you some clues into the dynamic. But other than that,
well, yeah, but also, I mean, like, it's easiest to say Ranma Akane because neither of them has ever tricked each other into trying to get married or date before. True. Meanwhile, the other cast is guilty of that up and down.
Yes, this is true. Because it's a love mania. We want to be with the people we like and everything.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's supposed to be there for comedic effect too, not just drama. It's for comedic effect.
Yeah.
And I'll try to end with this. And the real conclusion to Ranma One Half in the manga series. Somehow, some way, Akane is able. Somehow, some way, Ranma and Akane are somehow, secretly, psychically, able to reveal their own feelings for one another by not really saying it out loud, except for the fact that it's said in a panel that the reader reads, and it just confirms they do love each other at the end. They do not wind up together, though, because they are still dealing with their romantic Bibles and have to close that door. And remember, these are 16-year-old kids, so it's not like they're any older. So they're still like 16 years old and not even a year older. So maybe the entire span of the show kind of lasted maybe a year or two. Who knows?
Yeah, sure. Did summer last that long? Because I've been counting it up. It's been more than 104 days.
I know, but clearly, but in the profiles, it never said that they get any older. It just says they are this age for the remaining of those episodes of the show, the book. They are still the 16, 19, 17-year-old kids. They don't get any older. They live in a perpetual state of here. It's just here. Maybe there are extra days in the year for one half universe terms. But at the end, even though they're not really together, the reader at least it gives us, at least Rumako Takahashi gives us some closure. Like at least we know that they love each other, even if they don't really say it outright.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love these two together, and I love the show because it really brings me happiness if I talk about it. I really do love Ranma One Half. It's a truly great show that I will hold high regards for, and it's unfortunate that not many of the newer anime fans know of this series or dismiss outright because it's considered old, quote unquote.
Good point.
But I do suggest highly, yes, give it a try. Watch the first episodes. It's kind of slow, but it gets better when more characters are added, and you get the pacing and the gist of it. That don't take it that seriously, but look for key moments that make you realize which character you like or care for more. There are serious moments depending on what happens, like any anime, because that's how some characters grow. Sometimes they regress back to what their previous thing was in the episode, depending, sadly, because it's like there is a continuity, but at the same time there isn't. Like certain things, like what we said, like what Ben said about the Ryoga shooting off Shishi Hokudans into the sky or whatever. It was a random moment.
Oh yeah, then we stopped doing that. I assume because they didn't work.
Yeah. But there's like a lot, but it's like a lot of episodes and a lot of there's like key moments of action because he is a martial artist and Ron was pretty cool. He was one of my favorite male characters growing up. I thought that I wish I could emulate the character who is Japanese. He is not Chinese. He wears Chinese clothing. He is not in any way Chinese by blood. I don't know what the fuck Crunchyroll was thinking 4 or 5 years ago. They gave it to a fucking intern. They got that shit wrong, and I will never forget. The only characters that are Chinese are Shampoo, Moose, and the great grandmother, and that's it. Ranma likes Chinese clothing. It's what he wears to the school because he's a defiant asshole. Any closing remarks, Ben?
Not really. I can bring up why I like the series, but it's kind of personal to me, and this is your video.
Oh no! Let's go. No. I've been doing a lot of talking. What about you, Ben? Why do you like this show? I love it.
Oh, actually, I really liked it because I read it when I was young,
Nice.
and I have autism.
Mm-hmm. And I think you acquaint Ranma with having that due to certain traits he has, right?
Maybe, maybe not. But there are things about him that are relatable to being autistic that were nice because I never really saw them in any other media besides at first Ranma one half, but then I realized this is kind of a running joke in a lot of different animes. But basically, Ranma has a constant thing where because of his upbringing, he's like brought into a social situation that he has no idea how to deal with, and has to start dealing with it. And then everyone's like, "That's not how that works. That's wrong." And he's like, "Why?" And it's like, "Because the social rule says it's wrong." And he's like, "That's dumb." And they're like, "Well, it is dumb, but those are the rules." And then it just made fun of, I don't know, expectations of things you were supposed to do that were maybe a little bit stupid. And I don't know, that was a fun way of learning about something that I hated about, I guess, my life a little bit. Because that was something that happened to me all the time, and I hadn't learned to laugh at it yet. So, I don't know. That's why I liked Ranma so much. It taught me that this kind of comedy, which is present a lot in Japan for some reason.
Yeah, it is. Any other
But that's why I like it so much.
Nice. Is there any characters that, well, besides Ranma, any other characters you like or dismiss outright?
Yeah, Ryoga. I like Ryoga, but that's just because I guess I end up going for Whoopies for some reason. It's just so sad.
The eternal sad boy.
Yes.
Who gets lost and is an idiot at times.
I just want things to be good for him.
It can be. I think he gets some kind of happy ending in the anime, even though it's kind of like lackluster.
And I think I remember liking Okiyami Girl, even though I don't remember much about her.
Ukyo Kuwanji.
She had a giant spatula, and I don't remember her backstory.
She is an okonomiyaki. she makes and cooks okonomiyaki, Japanese pizza. She's a restaurant owner, dresses as a boy at first, but then becomes more feminine, and is Ranma's kind of first or second fiance, and she likes him. She is an unorthodox fighter because she does build a giant spatula as her main weapon and uses cutlery like as shurikens, little mini spatulas, which makes her cool.
Yep.
She's pretty, though I will say this, it's interesting enough. I have never once heard her sing in the Japanese in the songs.
Do the other characters?
Yeah, I've heard Doko, which is female Ranma, Akane, Kasumi, Nabiki, and Shampoo when they sing the songs, like in the music videos or whatever, the OVA series. It's just those five that sing. I have never once heard Ukyo's Japanese voice actress sing.
Yukio didn't come to karaoke night because I'm like, you assholes, I have a job.
Yeah, but Shampoo has a job too, and yet she's coming out to karaoke nights, dude.
Wait, who else has a job? Who else has a job?
Shampoo. She's the waitress at that the Nekohaten, the ramen place.
All right. Wait, aren't they both like 16?
Yeah, it's kind of like, how the fuck do they get away with having jobs at 16 and doing school? And does Shampoo even go to school? What?
Also, I guess Okiyami Girl is a business owner.
Yeah. Like, how is she able to get away with that shit? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like sus now. How the fuck are they able to get away with that?
I slipped the guy 500 yen and he let me open my restaurant.
I mean,
$5.
I'm making money on the side to support myself through school. I have no parental figures in my life.
I don't even really live in this country. I don't know how I bought this land, and I don't care.
Well, I think Shampoo's great grandma takes care of the business.
Yeah.
She makes some of the mom, and Shampoo delivers it or cooks it sometimes, and so does Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Though then again, half the crazy shit that happens in that neck of the woods is amazing. Like, oh, you know what's going on over there? Oh, don't worry. It's usually mom being chased by someone. Don't worry about it. You know.
The neighborhood spectacle. Get out of the way if you don't want to die.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Here we go. Come on, everyone. Come inside, kids. Come on. You got let them pass by first. And it was
Mommy,
waved.
mommy, the neighbor boy's fighting a giant cat.
Oh my god, the ghost cat! Oh my god, I remember that episode too. The giant ghost cat with the fucking bell. He's so sniffly. Like, oh my god!
I do vaguely remember it had a funny face.
Oh my god, that damn ghost cat! Oh shit! Meow! Oh shit! Oh shit!
At that time, but oh yeah, actually, it's also very easy to make a joke where there was an episode where Ranma turned into a cat for some reason, like mentally, and just like sat in Akane's lap and licked her face, and it was all like, "Oh God, he's all affectionate. This is weird." I'm like,
Hey,
"Yeah,
you
an
kissed
affectionate
me!
cat. That is really fucking weird."
Oh, his catophobia got too strong, and his mind broke down, and he turned into a cat, and only.
Yeah, no, I just made a joke about how my cat is an angry piece of shit.
Okay, I get it. Well, your cat's always angry, you say.
Yes, he is.
It's a he.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe that's it. It's a guy.
he's an angry cat.
Is your mom able to get your male cat to calm down?
No,
Can anyone?
no.
Then why the heck do you have that fucking cat?
Because we got him when he was a kid and we didn't know. And now it's too late.
Does he not like anyone?
He sometimes is nice. He likes Dad, I guess, because he feeds them.
Oh, God, okay.
But Dad doesn't really exert any control over him.
Well, I believe pets like go by off their owners, you know. Just food for thought.
I am a very nice person.
Yes, you are, but I think your dog likes you more.
Yes, she does. She is my dog. I adopted her. The cat is technically my sister's.
And yet your sister left that cat with you guys.
Yes.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, this has been more of a rehash of the previous video from months ago that I now have deleted because it was just too small. It was like the audio was too short. I will double check everything with this to make sure you can hear my voice and Ben's voice, and if not, we will try this again if it fails. But hopefully it is fine. And I hope this was a better reasoning of why I love on one half, and it was mostly just me gushing about the episode dynamic, and it's like great, and it's like 7 seasons, I believe. I like the first couple of seasons, but then after a while, it just drags on because like, oh god, it's just becoming like filler episodes at this point because like, there's no direction. It just happens that certain things happen at random. Like there's like an episode with what do you call it? What's that thing Genma and Son play? That damn chess game, Japanese chess game.
Go, Shogi?
Shogi Go or something. Yeah, thank you, Ben. Yeah. There was an episode about that, and maybe a random episode where eggs were a factor.
I vaguely remember something about 2 small girls on a bicycle that flew for some reason.
Wait, was that Ling Ling and Lum Lum?
Sounds like that would be it.
I could have sworn it was more about a Chinese dragon trying to fight Ranma to kill because Shampoo didn't kill female Ranma.
Maybe.
And then I could have sworn there was an episode where Akane can't swim and she sinks like a stone.
That's unfamiliar.
Yeah. I read it in a comic with that once. A lot of episodes. I do think that you can pretty much choose when to stop watching Ranma whenever if it gets to a point like it's just dragging on because it doesn't really have no conclusive ending in the end, sadly. So I would suggest reading the manga, and you get a little bit more closure, or at least more understanding with certain characters. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is why I love Ranma One Half. Refrain, I'll call this, and with my friend Ben. And again, think of this as an echo of our Continuum script. And if I feel like it, we will probably do another show like this again with some random stuff. Maybe a little bit more coherent. Maybe we'll talk about more detail about Blaze Blue shit. Who knows?
And coherent hasn't been our style this far, but I guess we could give it a try.
What hasn't been our style?
Coherence.
True. But then again, I like the fact that you bring in random elements like Animorphs. We should probably talk about that next time, too. I love that show. I mean, I love that book.
Yeah. All right. I know nothing about it. So it will be a learning experience.
Yeah. So, until then, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want, like and subscribe. Please don't dislike. Okay, nah, you can do whatever you want. I don't really care. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you like hearing me on this, go check out CJM and see we do commentaries. And our current podcast is on hiatus. So whenever you hear us back from us, who knows? But until then, you can check me out on this and other stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So, until then, I will see you later. Bye.